Hi, it's Monday's Talking Reds. It's me, John Gibbons, and I'm joined by Melissa Reddy from joe.co.uk or joe.com, whatever, the internet. Anyway, and we're here to talk about the latest action in the world of Liverpool Football Club, and they were in action on Saturday, Mel. Well, there was some action, not as much as call it that. Not as much as we'd liked, but Liverpool did play. It was very hot, you have to say that, but yeah, not a lot happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, uncomfortably hot and surprisingly hot because it wasn't like the sun wasn't blaring down like it has been the previous weeks, but just that humidity, which made it quite hard to actually watch the game, so I can't imagine having played in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pre-season friendlies are pre-season friendlies, but really enjoyed watching Curtis Jones.
Yeah, Curtis Jones is a young lad. He's from the Liverpool area. He's actually from Toxteth, which is the same area Robbie Fowler's from, so it's great to see him getting some action in these pre-season games. And what I'd say is he doesn't look out of place, does he? No. And he certainly doesn't seem to be lacking in confidence.
Yeah, the interesting thing is all the technical aspects that I think he's gotten spot on, which at a young age, 17, is hard to have so much intelligence in your game in terms of, every time I looked at him, he was scanning the pitch, so he knew exactly where the ball was going to go when he got it. He knew where everyone was. And by scanning also, he was always so positionally aware about where he needed to be as well. Confident, always wanted the ball, always showed for it, and then moved, didn't just sit and admire his passes. Good passing range, short, long, could switch the play really well. And the thing that I enjoyed was, remember, this is a chance for players to impress, so it's very easy, especially when you're only a teenager, to think that the way you impress is by being showy and by doing things that catch the eye, but he didn't. He was making the right decisions a lot of the time, and I found it interesting that Jurgen Klopp actually mentioned afterwards that if players think scoring a worldie is going to, get my attention, that's not. If you make the right pass to a player in a better position, that's better for a manager. So I think he's shown a lot. Obviously, he's still young, and you don't expect him to immediately slot in or anything like that, but he's not done himself any harm.
Yeah, on those Jurgen comments, you understand why it's difficult for forward players especially, don't you? Because Sturridge scores 2 in the first game and suddenly everyone's talking about him, including us, on the Anfield app, saying, oh, maybe there's an opportunity for him. Shea Ojo gets the goal, and so because that's what people focus on, and because that's what gets the eye, and not everyone's seeing the game, so they're just seeing it, you sort of understand why they're thinking, well, Sadio's not here, Mo Salah's not here, Firmino's not here, I've got to take my opportunity here. So you understand a little bit why there's a tendency to be a little bit greedy.
Yeah, it is human nature. You see it as well when players who aren't getting regular minutes, they come on and they try and force issues as a substitute because they want to seize that small opportunity that they have. But it's absolutely the wrong thing to do, because if you can be tactically astute and show that you can link up, combine, show that your understanding of the game is collective and not based on what you as an individual need to do, that will impress the coaching staff so much more. And I think an example to use is Dominic Solanke, who obviously, wasn't banging them in last season. But in terms of coming on and doing what tactically he was asked to do by the management team and performing that, we'll see him, continue to get opportunities.
We'll see. The next Liverpool pre-season friendly is on Thursday night. We're sending Neil Atkinson up to cover that one, so Neil will be there doing a post-match show straight after the game as well, so for all our Talk Player subscribers online. And then Liverpool fly out to America, and so do the Anfield Wrap. We're doing live shows the night before each game in the major cities around, so with Charlotte on Saturday night, then we go over to New York to do a live show in the Boot Room, which is part of the Carragher's bar over there, and then we're in Detroit as well on the Friday, I think it is, or would it be, the Friday. That was tough for me to work out there. I'm trying to plan it all in my head.
Does the poster say you'll be shirtless?
The poster doesn't say I'll be shirtless, but
you probably will.
I think there's a fair chance. So yeah, do come along if you've not been to an Anfield live show before. They are a lot of fun. Don't worry, you will not be sitting there scratching your chin listening to people talk about football. It's a lot of audience participation. It's a lot of fun, and it's the best thing to do in town the night before the games. So yeah, do try and get involved on the American tour. We spoke a little bit to Jurgen after the game, didn't he? And he suggested that although they won't necessarily be playing from the start, the likes of Mo Salah and Sadio Mane will be going on the tour, and that'll be a treat for all of us who want to see them, but especially for the American fans out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good that they're involved as soon as possible in terms of the training sessions, and even though they won't feature in the early games, at least you will be able to see them, in open training and just in and around the place. Obviously makes sense that they don't just come back and get straight in. They need to match everyone else's fitness levels that have been there from the start. Also exciting to see how the new combines with the old. I think that's one of my favorite things because, the biggest element of preseason often for a fan is to see the new signings, the Naby Keitas, the Fabinos, but the most interesting element for me is how you see how does Naby Keita combine with Sadio Mane, for example, on the pitch. Obviously they've got a great relationship off it, but small little things like that get you excited. I remember last year in Hong Kong watching full Coutinho, Mo Salah combine, and every single training session you knew it was going to be something special. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of it, only half a season of it. But it will be interesting to see how they all fit together.
Certainly will. Plenty more pre-season stuff to come, and we'll be following all of it. I just want to talk to you briefly as well about the other football game that took place on the weekend. Well, there was two, but the big one was the World Cup final. France were the champions, I think we'll all agree, of the tournament. Dejan Lovren coming back to Liverpool with another runners-up medal, but I think this one meant a little bit more to him than the Liverpool one.
Yeah, I thought the way he reacted afterwards, because he had to do, post-match interviews, and everything he said was completely spot on. No point arguing over decisions or whatever, those kind of things. Be proud of what you achieved. He said he thought Croatia played their best game. I'd probably go along with that. They were very good, I felt.
Especially first half an hour. France.
And this is an incredible achievement for them as a nation, and they were entertaining, they were well balanced, they were a team you could really get behind and want to see do well. On a personal level, I wanted France to win the World Cup because I just thought they had sort of everything a winner has, and they only ever did enough to win. It reminded me a little bit of Real Madrid, who, they've got all of this explosiveness in them, and they don't often need to use it because what's the point? So, I loved seeing the celebrations of the French team afterwards. I enjoy the fact that it's a team of, made up of immigrants who have done it, and I hope that changes France's political landscape a little bit and the sentiment in that country and around the world in terms of immigrants. So,
immigrants, we get the job done. Just finally, just to finish on, I've noticed that Lovren's partner, centre-back partner, Vida's been linked with Liverpool a bit. There's also a Harry Maguire bombshell dropped by Andy Heaton last night before he went on holiday, which is, it's what Andy likes to do. Are you expecting Liverpool to go in for the centre-half this summer, or are you seeing that as something as a priority position, or do you think it's a case of, look, if a good one comes available, then we might move, but it's not necessarily the top two kind of priorities?
Yeah, I don't think it's a priority at the moment. They're always looking. I remember last summer, obviously, not just they wanted Virgil van Dijk, but beyond that, they were assessing what else was out there in the market and what they needed in a centre-back, and whether it was possible to bring in someone like that in January again, except they were looking at a lot of younger options. They looked at Laporte, who went to City, and I think they'll always continue to be assessing the market, but I don't imagine it's right up there. I think, goalkeeper, a playmaker, a sort of number 10, but that's going to add goals, threat from set pieces, all the things Liverpool basically lost when Coutinho departed. I think those are the key areas, and if they do get a centre-back, it would be sort of a bonus. I was actually thinking about it on the weekend, and my biggest concern is that Lovren and Matip and Gomez have all had injury issues in the last few seasons, which means they don't play a full campaign or close to a full campaign. But I think when Jurgen's looking at it and he's seeing, he's got Lovren, Van Dijk, Matip, Gomez, Klavan to play in those positions, he wouldn't want too many clouding that. So I wouldn't read too much into the rumours at the moment.
We shall see. A man who is reading a lot into rumours is Paul Senior this week. He's in for Rob Gutman doing our transfer shows. They're recording this straight after us. In fact, they're probably waiting outside. So we do those transfer rumour roundups, if you like, 3 times a week. Paul Senior doing those, recording it now. That's for our Tour Play subscribers. So it's £5 a month for all the audio you could possibly want on Liverpool. We're following the complete story of them in the pre-season and obviously into the new season as well. So come and share it with us. It's just £5 a month and no minimum sign up. So but in the meantime, thanks a lot to Mel for joining us, and that's been Talking Reds.